This is Versus on Boss Moves Radio. With Zar the MC and Playmaker.
Our next segment we're going to do is the Versus segment, where we pretty much take two ideas, maybe two opposing ideas, or two, like a debating conversation, a debating topic, and we debate it.
Yeah, but you always have to be on the opposing side where you would normally have been. So in this case, it's like, let's say, it's like one day you're R&B, I go for rap, or in this case today, you're going to be repping black privilege.
Okay.
And I'll be repping white privilege.
All right. Well, I just want to start off by saying I don't have black privilege because I'm not black.
I've never had white privilege. I want that good credit score though.
So are we arguing for? So I'm arguing for black privilege.
Yeah. Like why is it better than white privilege? I mean.
Okay, this is interesting because I've never experienced life as a black person.
I've never been white one day in my life, fam. I mean,
well, you know, like everyone knows what white privilege entails, but I feel like only black people know what black privilege entails. You know what I'm saying?
No, you know what? I feel like more and more as you know, black people are becoming more prominent and stuff. Like now, there's certain like levels to it because there is a black people club. Like and you, like to be honest, even though it's like rich or black people, but like the last White House party that Barack Obama had.
Oh, when Chris Rock was saying like, "I died and went to black heaven."
Yeah, it's like everybody who's ever been cool and black and rich, we're all there, just hanging out. And I feel like that's part of black privilege. Is like you make that elite group of like you can talk about white people in a bad way and still be rich.
I just feel like anything I say about what I think black privileges will be received poorly.
No, but you know what? I'm giving you my black card right now. I'm giving you my black card right now.
I don't think that's how it works.
No, I'm gonna like black people. We are going to absolve him because it's part of the show and it's a part of all of us having a better understanding what the other person sees. Okay. I've never been white before, so I don't know. Damn, I don't even know what any fun things you guys technically are supposed to do.
Yeah. I think one thing with white privilege, which I've seen partying with white high school kids and essentially blending in, is that cops deal with them very like there's no problem. There's never like it's not confrontational. It's like even if one time I was drinking like in public and a cop came up to me and was just like talking to me and just told me to put my drink away. And it was like not confrontational. There was no like I need to see your ID. There was no, you know, it was like almost like they want to deal with me nicely because like I look however I look.
Yeah.
And where I was thinking like, yo, if my boy was in that situation, like a friend that's black, like it probably wouldn't have been that like
that cool.
Friendly, you know?
Well, we're gonna debate it right now. 1, 2, 3. I'm buying my house right now. I'm white. I'm buying my house right now and keeping it in the Rudy.
I think that like the
that
white
credit score. I need that credit score.
That version of white privilege is for like a lot of white people, but there are still like trailer trash white people, or like white people living in motels that like can't get that. You know what I'm saying?
I know what I mean, but I'm calling myself upper class.
Okay.
White person. I feel if I'm gonna get privilege, let me get all the good parts of white privilege.
All right, so I have black privilege, I guess, in this hypothetical situation. I'ma just steal your girl and just be like you get, because I feel like with black privilege is if you go to a party and if you say you go to like Western and like there's a bunch of white girls, and as a white guy you walk in with your white boys, girls are like, all right, like that's all we see. Then a black dude walks in. There is unfortunate. I don't know if it's unfortunate or not, because like I guess black guys like white girls like black guys. So like there's a mutual fetishizing that goes on, whether it's because of the white girl's affinity with black culture, black men.Maybe she likes NBA players, or maybe she likes rappers. So like somehow like she affiliates with that with you, but that's kind of racist. So like,
I mean, it's the same thing. If like a black person is fetishizing a white person, if you're fetishizing, technically it is racist. I mean,
But I feel like it's worse when white girls. For some reason, I feel like it's worse when white girls do it.
Because it feels like blatant. Like the black
it feels like look at him, like as if like he's like a horse at like Woodbine Racetrack or some shit.
But like I've heard how some black men talk about white girls, and it's just like they say the word bunnies. Like, you know,
or like pog. Or
the words are sometimes. So, like, it's kind of 50-50.
So it's a mutual racist fetishizing.
Unfortunately.
I just feel weird because it's like, because I haven't read Charlamagne the God's book, Black Privilege. I haven't read it. So I'm just trying to think, like, what I would say that would be accurate because I don't have experience as a black person.
I don't have experience as a white person. I'm crapping out this credit thing.
Okay, black privilege. But anything I say, I feel like will sound racist.
Just say it, okay? I'm literally telling you to say this is part of the game. If you can't say, that's the thing. I feel like if we aren't, like, if people are going
like, what do I think black privilege is, like, genuinely? Okay, personally, I feel like all my favorite artists, all the best artists are black. All the best stand-up comics and arguably actors are black, in my opinion.
Ooh. Actually,
that's what I've seen. Like, just personally, like, in terms of skill, in terms of like legacy, in terms of like think about the best artist of all time, Michael Jackson. He was black.
Yeah.
If you think about the best stand-up comics, you have Richard Pryor, you have Dave Chappelle. Both of them were black.
Yeah, I mean, I put Jerry Seinfeld on that list because I watch stand-up and I'm like a fan. I'll put Jerry up on that list.
You have like, you have your 1-2 like white dudes up there. You know, you have your Frank Sinatras or whatever.
Well, obviously, everyone knows I love Sinatra. That's actually my other nickname. People call me Sinatra. You know there's a business move happening.
Okay.
So when my brother will call me Sinatra, it's like, it's a wrap. Like either somebody's getting chopped off or something's getting or we're chopped or money's being made right now.
Mm-hmm. So if I did have black privilege, like I don't know, like, it sounds weird for me to just be like, just be like, I'd sing, or like, like best athletes. You look at Michael Jordan, you look at LeBron James, like, but like, I don't know if that was because they were black or because they were dope, or like a mix of both, or like maybe that was correlated with one another.
I feel. Okay, I think what you're talking about is more about swagger more than anything.
Yeah, there's sauce. Just like
it's just like they can get away with more. There's a certain swagger in like social life that is real, and I'll be
evident. Yeah, like like but I don't necessarily know. Is that black privilege or is that black culture? I guess I'd say black privilege.
No, black privilege is black culture.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That would be the privilege, is like having a firsthand experience and the ability to operate within that culture. Whereas obviously other people partake in black culture as well, but there's always
a disconnect.
Yeah, there's like that disconnect of authenticity that you will be questioned. Whereas if you're black, you're already in it. You're born into it.
Yeah.
But I don't like I guess that if I had black privilege, what else would I do?
Okay, well, I'm trying to think of a white privilege other than credit score.
I'm honestly now is not the time in history to be white. I started introducing myself as Olive because I just don't want to be affiliated with white. Honestly,
you wanted to be part of the struggle.
No offense to white people. I know visually I'm white, but I'm trying to distance myself from that because now is not the time. White people are getting roasted left, right, and center, fam, and they have to take it, and it's kind of bad.
No, because white people been killing people for basically 12,000 years.
Yeah, those people, the colonial people were, but my boy's uncle's family who just randomly just do their thing in a random town. They don't really do that. I don't know. Personally, I because there are white people in my family. I have Arab family members that have married white people, and the you kind of see the culture,
yeah.
And it's personally, I haven't seen any overt racism. And this is a family where their daughter married a St. Lucian dude. And they were cool with it.
Yeah.
There was never any overt racism. Whereas I feel now more than ever, there's more awareness about race. So there's more conversation about race. I actually remember when I told you I heard a couple of my white friends say the N-word, and it was it felt like it was racially derogatory. It wasn't even in a song lyric. It was yo, that person's such an N-word. And I was I was shook because it's like I feel like years ago no one would say that.
I like
You know, like
I feel
there was
like
kind of like a
there's
mutual like you
there's
don't
been-
touch these grounds.
Yeah, I feel like there's almost like there's too much of a license for certain people to just do and say whatever because part of it is because of Trump and part of it is because of just the racial climate right now. But like, guys, we have to grow up as a human race because we're literally just rehashing the same issues we've had since like Roman times.
But
Greek
the
times.
thing is, I feel like
othering. I feel othering is part of the problem. That's why even this verses is important. I feel even for the culture. I don't care who listens to this.
But I feel like people are gonna be offended what I say.
No. But you know what? But I'm just saying, if you think that, even though I know you're not racist, believe me, we've had these conversations. He's not racist. He's not a bad person. Like I'm vouching for him as a black person. Please applaud him because he does a lot for the culture. But what like. If we're able to have these discussions, like if we're able to have real honest discussions about what's really going on, what you're really seeing, what really being affected, this is how people change the narrative. Like, you know, like somebody will listen to this and be like, I've never thought of it that way. Because I'm going to tell you, black people see white privilege as like, you know, a key card? Okay, so any door that's like would have been locked for both of us, you have the key card. Like, you know, it's like I'm trying, like I'm breaking the window. I'm forcing myself on the door. I'm taking a hammer. Like I have to do 50 times more work to just have the key card. And Greg Popovich actually said something that was so beautiful, and that's why I love this old white man. If there's an old white man I love more than Greg Popovich, it's probably the guy from Everybody Loves Raymond, but like they're basically the same person. But he literally said, being white in America is like running the 100-meter race and already being at the 50-meter mark.
There's a head start. Okay, I can see that.
And then he's like, but if you're a white male in America, it's like having the 75 being at the 75-meter mark, and everybody else is just running after you. Like, you know, it's just not fair. Like, damn, like it's, and I feel more black people really see it as a point of access. Like, you know what I mean?
Lack of
options, opportunity.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, because sometimes like, and I feel like white people see black people as like, oh my gosh, look at them, they have so much ability. Like, you know? But like, it kind of works both ways. It's like if you don't have a lot of access, then you're gonna work more because you need ability. Well, compared to like, let's say you have a lot of access, you won't really work more on ability. You work more to having more doors open for you. Like if there's one thing I know for a fact, like a part of white privilege is networking. Like I've never seen like my white friends or people who taught me really what networking was. And like I'll be 100% honest with you. That's a pure fact. Like. Networking to really build relationships towards more partnerships. Like even stuff that we're doing within the show, a lot of stuff I've learned how to talk to business and my white friends or white older gentlemen have like explained to me like, hey, you do have to do ABC. This is how you do to get 1, 2, 3. And I'm like,
systemically, and I feel like now that we're in like a racist time, we also discredit white people. But in terms of their organizational skills,
definitely. Like you can
modern civilization.
You cannot like I was. Oh my gosh, I gotta say this bar. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, technically, white people have been oppressing people for a hot minute. You have to be organized to do that.
Like you really have to. Yeah, you
for systematic racism or systematic oppression to work. You have to have really.
You have to be on point. Yeah.
Like because. It's not. No, but because the thing is, like the bank teller is probably not racist. Probably even has white friends. Probably even dated a few white black people. Like you love Latino culture, like stuff like that. However, the system in the bank system is probably without knowing it is forcing her to put himself in position. Well, he lives in a rougher part of the neighborhood. Well, because he never had access to another neighborhood because he didn't have the money, the capital. And it's like a roundabout situation. But she's not seeing that. She's like, well, I can't give him this bank loan. That would change his life and put him to the next level. So, like, you know what I mean? So, like, that it's almost like, and that's what I feel like black people is like, oh, the system is against them. The system is against us. And, like it's good that you hear people like Greg Popovich. Greg Popovich had no reason to say what he says sometimes, especially when it comes to Trump or racism. And it's like, if he's like a 68 a 68-year-old white man who was in the military, coached in the military. Yeah, he's around black people in the NBA and whatever. But like his understanding of race relations is amazing because he doesn't have to, and he's a millionaire. He has no incentive, and he lives in San Antonio. Like, yeah, okay, there's a lot of Latinos and stuff, and there's a lot of black people. But to be honest, you could probably live in like there's certain parts of the world you can probably live with just white people and never interact with another race. You really could. Like Newcastle, like where I used to live. When you saw another black person, it was like, you know how black people give each other the nod? Yeah, it was more than a nod. It was basically a hug. It's like, well, you're here. It's good to know. If something pops off, it's good to know somebody else here.
And that's ties into like the black privilege we were talking about, where there's more of a unifying sense in black culture, whereas there isn't really such thing as white culture. Like white culture varies per country. It's not
but like
obviously
I break
black
this
culture
down.
too. Like there's Caribbean, there's African.
Yeah, but like, you know what? One thing that I will actually say, I don't consider, if you're like from the Mediterranean, I don't consider you white.
Thank you.
Like olive skin, like Turkish people. I'm like, you know what? Like my cousins, I don't know how right this is, but they say if you have no real culture, if you're like not Italian, Portuguese, or Turkish, you have no real culture, yeah, that's when they call you white and they can't date you because you have no real culture. Like if American culture is your only culture, then I'm not dating you.
So and that's a whole nother thing where it's because a lot of like black skinned Latinos don't identify as black, like, nah, I'm Latino, or like a lot of Africans will not identify as black because like there's kind of like a cultural separation.
Because there's a lot of stuff going on, but just like in blackism, like that's probably the
that is a cool word.
No, just in blackism when it comes to like dark skin, light skin, when it comes to African, Caribbean, or black, like African American in America. Well, I'm put it down very simply. You're black, more or less you've been oppressed, or you're Asian, you're Latino, or like you're from anywhere. If you felt oppressed, you're technically all under one banner. Like to a person who really is racist, who doesn't like. I've only really met one racist person ever, and to a person who truly is racist, doesn't matter. They have no difference.
If a white person, because honestly, you go to Turkey, they have their perception of black people, and it is racist. You go to Greece, you go to any of these countries, especially in Europe.
Yeah, but like black people like also have racist. Like I'm gonna be 100% honest.
But like, how racist are black people towards non-black people?
You don't want to hear these white people jokes. Like you have them on deck. Like it's like you hear like stuff that like you'll hear black people say a lot between black other people, like white people stuff, white people ish. Like just to be like they're crazy or that's dumb as hell.
That's some white ish.
Like. I meant
only white
people will do that. Or we'll do the same thing for Greece, Italian. Like everybody is low key racist, but nobody wants the racism to hit them. Then it's a problem. Yeah. But like, the thing is because it's almost like one group has oppressed everybody else. Because I'm like Italians have been oppressed. Like I'm never gonna say they haven't been oppressed because Italians, Irish people, up until probably the late 70s, 80s. Okay, like. Let's be 100%. Just because you've been growing up in the last 30 years doesn't mean people really see you as white. Because a lot of them just have to ask their grandfathers and be like, "How were you treated when you came to America or you came to Canada?" And they'll hit you with the hot facts, like it wasn't easy. And you'll see that struggle is parallel with the struggles of black people either now or like a little bit earlier, because people have been going up here, okay? Okay, it's not all bad here, but we're going up. Yeah, so yeah, no. It's like just a relationship between that struggle. I'm being 100% honest. So
I just feel like it's not matched in terms of, I just feel like black people have gone through, I think historically, and if we're going to argue that the Jews were maybe black.
Because if you... Honestly, I've actually been in the discussion where there was a Jewish person, an Asian person, a black person, and literally we're all debating like who had it worse. Like Indian people or brown skin people can definitely call that. South Asia can really call that. And Asian people, like what people call ethnically Asian.
Can you say
Africa.
every race has been discriminated against except white?
Well, they are white people are discriminated against. Probably
Like,
now,
slightly like, on Twitter.
There's actually a comedian who said like 200 years down the future, like white people just would not be in a good situation.
I don't think they're gonna like. I feel like literally white people who like intermingle with other races will survive, but I feel like eventually the pure white, it just looks like a civil, like we're on the like brink of a civil war or something.
No, I'm for. I love all people. Period. Like no, like that's just the way I was raised. Like my parents actually taught me no color. Whether or not to marry no color, that's a whole different situation. But to love all, like my parents were like, okay, they're Asian,
child of God,
no question. Like you judge people on their character. If they're a bad person, they're black, then they're black, and they're a bad person. There's two separate things. Same thing if they're white. Same thing if they're blue, green, yellow. Like they really said that you have to care about the human being and the human like perspective more than anything. So that's the way I grew up. Like I don't know if that's how everybody's growing up, but that's the way mom and dad did it for me. So and my brothers, like I'm really big on that. Granted, my 8-year-old brother he's something else. That kid, like if I have him on the show, you'll be like, this kid talks like a grown man, just in a little man's voice.
Okay, so for someone like me, what would you define black privilege as?
Black privilege is just I think it's like the ultimate gift because to be honest, social situations obviously, and I feel like black excellence is probably is like
the highest form in terms of like achieving.
Because it's just achieving because you're kind of praised by everybody. There's no real hate there. Like, it's like you can be really racist, but like Jay-Z's success, you won't really turn down on it. You'll be like,
it's undeniable.
It's like undeniable, right? And like it just and I feel like there's a certain love that black people just have that is like an emotion. This is unmatched. Like in like let's say Western society, because in other societies like in Africa obviously, but Indian culture and stuff like that, like they have real love, like real love, like love. Like
so you're talking about the caring, nurturing,
but I feel like just like a high capacity to love because there's been so much hate. Like like if
stronger need for
just a stronger need, but like they push, desire. They give out more love. Like sometimes like when black people really accept you, they really accept you. Like think about it. Like I see a lot more black hardcore Eminem fans than anything else. I know more.
I barely, but like that's just me.
No. A lot of like I would be 100%. Like I've seen some hardcore Eminem fans, and they're like no, and they're black. They're like no, he's the best rapper ever. Period. And I'll be like, but like that's only because I'm a fan of other people. But like I get, you know what I mean? Like there's real love there. Like that's the biggest ability. Like loyalty. Yeah, that's really what I would say is like the ultimate black superpower. Like, and black people just love so much. But like sometimes that love, like the difference between love and hate is very, very thin line. That's the only thing I'll say right now. So let me close that out. That was a hot versus.
That was still. I just hope I don't get blazed.
You're getting blazed on your show.
I'm gonna get super blazed. Not in a drug sense. No, I meant in the show sense because we have a segment.
You definitely no. We are not playing with that.
Donald Trump.
Politicking.
Puerto Rico just went through a hectic hurricane. 16 people reported dead. Donald Trump, before he kind of gives out the towels and all these equipment to Puerto Ricans, he kind of goes on a critical rant about Puerto Rico being out of whack for the budget and like you only 16 people died compared to like, you know, what happened in New Orleans. So he didn't really approach it well in that sense. And then afterwards, this kind of went viral. He was throwing towels like it was a basketball at the people. And Playmaker was saying it's because he saw Obama do it, and when Obama does something like that, it looks 100 times cooler and like more genuine. Whereas when Donald Trump does it, it's like it just looks like he's a mockery. It looks like disrespect.
Like, okay, let me really put that up. The reason why, and I even said if Bill Clinton would have done it, I'm pretty cool.
Even George Bush.
George never would have done that. That would.
That's out of his brand. That's out of his lane. That's out of his lane.
That's the one thing about George Bush that everybody's suspecting now. This boy stayed in his lane. Like, he ran his 8 years and said bye. Like, you know, there's actually a video of him running out the White House when Obama came. He's like, I'm out. I can't with these people anymore.
I'm free.
I'm free. But like the best part, like this whole situation with Trump is just a mess. But Puerto Rico is the real mess. I think what people were more outraged with is the fact that it's kind of treating it as a game. Not just the hurricane, but just the entire territory of Puerto Rico. Because I'm like, that's a mess. Like, they have real issues. They are U.S. territory. They are like, they want to be a state, which they should just be. Because at this rate, God, like.
And they claim to be American. They have an American passport.
They're really treated like fourth class citizens. Like, when you think about the history of like the U.S., when do you even think of Puerto Rico? They talk about Mexico and how they got it from California and everything and stuff like that. Like that history. They talk about Texas, the Alamo. They talk about Native Americans.
Alaska. They don't talk about Puerto Rico though.
No, the Louisiana Purchase. Never talk about Puerto Rico. The Virgin Islands barely getting mentioned, like, and that has the U.S. Virgin Islands on it, like,
and like only Tim Duncan, like that's all I know about the U.S. Virgin Islands, like, is Tim Duncan's.
That's it. Like it's just like Tim Duncan's from there, and Puerto Ricans, they're very attractive in J-Lo. That's really as much as you can really get from that, and that's sad when they should really just be putting it as a state. Like what's really and when you look at the difference between a territory and a state, it's some big ass differences.
Yeah, you don't get as many benefits as
like,
a territory.
Like it's like they're being treated like a side chick. Like, but no. And I think people are more outraged at the lack of support just for Puerto Rico
like
in
compassion.
general.
There's like a lack of like he doesn't have that human element where you actually feel like you can trust him or know him. Obama had that. Bill Clinton had that. Even George Bush had that. Where it's like you feel like if you sat down with him, you would there would be a real conversation. Whereas Donald Trump looks like he would just talk down at you.
Okay. Like because I study a lot about charisma and communication, how to talk to people. And Bill Clinton, like when you talk about charisma, I always give it different levels. Like, I really have to probably do a study on this, but Bill Clinton is charisma as just innate charisma the second he walks in. Like, that's crazy charisma, right? And it's just like the smile, the way he talks to people. He has a certain openness about his charisma, right? And that charisma is more like probably like it's fantastic for politics, obviously. But it's like the charisma of like the most popular kid at school. Like that's the charisma he has. The charisma that George Bush had is more like the frat boy, which he was. But like he's
the chill.
Not chill. He's the guy at the barbecue who's telling the stories and everybody is on the floor dying or he's doing crazy stunts. Like that's his charisma. That's his lane.
The main event.
He is the main event. It's never like, oh my gosh, I would love to be that guy, or I like you like spending time with him in short instances.
Yeah.
But Barack Obama had the cool charisma. It's like
cool intelligence.
It's like you guys can talk about like mundane things like
anything from sports to politics, music.
Anything. And his charisma is like the second you start talking to him. Because other than that, he kind of looks more reserved, more shy. Doesn't have like the big wide stance, the strapping. Because that's one thing that Bill Clinton had is like that super swagger, like all the time. Obama kind of had it, but he also was the first black president, so he kind of had certain things you have to tone down. Because I'm 100% like, you can wear a do-rag in that White House, because if he did that, I'm pretty sure the entire nation would have blown up. Especially 2008.
He wore a do-rag. That would have been bold. Like, the moment he has a press conference in his do-rag and like PJs, he's like, I live here now. So.
I live here now. We're rolling. Do-rag, and then Michelle Obama comes out in curlers or something. They're too sophisticated for that. I feel like I can joke about it, but I know I would never do it. I'm coming in there in a tie, pressed, everything cool, because he had to do more because he was the first.
Yeah, so you had to put on extra.
You have to put on extra. Like, there's certain things I'm pretty sure he wanted to do, but he knows I can't do this.
But
like Trump, back to charisma. Yeah. Trump has, I wouldn't say he's charismatic at all. He's more, he's New York. No, he's New York. As in, he's power. Like, the thing is, money, like, the difference is, like,
Washington.
Like
that boss talk.
Ish.
Yeah.
Like, his charisma is, his power, his influence is only the fact that he has power and influence. I doubt, like, if he wasn't rich, he was never rich, he was just at home chilling, nobody would listen to him. Mm-hmm. But like, I'm pretty sure if you're at a party or something, you would listen to Clinton, Bush, main event, and Obama. He'd probably be the guy, like, kind of maybe in the corner or around, like.
Trump would be the loud, obnoxious one with like all the girls.
No, I feel like it would be the reverse. It's like at the beginning, it's like, oh, you have a couple girls and you have a drink and you said something rude and every girl's like, bun him and them.
Realistically, yeah, but when we incorporate the fact that he has a lot of money.
And the thing is,
changes
money. And you know what? I understand money can't buy you happiness, and technically money can't buy you people, but it can buy you options, and that's the thing. And like, he only became president of the United States because he had billions of dollars, and he had already some level of notoriety. Like, if he had been just like you, just chilling, or he'd been same status, anything, no traction, no traction. Right? So, like, I'm saying money buys you options. And this is probably the first time, legitimately, we just saw somebody buy an election. Before, like, there's always been, like, president maker stuff. This is the first time anybody's really bought it.
Really strategy.
Honestly.
Marketing strategy.
Oh, definitely. And you know what? And he says racist things, but I don't even know. He says racist things, but I'm not 100% convinced he's racist, just because he spent the better part of the early 2000s and 90s with black people and doing a lot of business with black people. And it was almost like all of a sudden, like, a betrayal by the black community. It was like, but
we liked you.
We liked you.
Did black people like Donald Trump before all this?
Yeah. He had pictures with Nas. He was chilling with them. A lot of people were learning business from him. Where did this come from? And I feel that's where people feel like they got blindsided. At all, like, in this whole situation. It's just sad. Trump literally played the ultimate Trump card, and I'm tired of him. I'm just tired.
I mean, we only got 4 more years.
God damn it.
It's crazy. I just really,
it feels like we've been at this for at least 2 years.
Yeah, it seems like it's non-new.
And the thing is like, even when George Bush was there, like, there was kind of like a sort of reprieve. We didn't hear so much about him all the time. Now it's just like,
the thing is, Trump makes headlines. Anything he says is just going to go crazy.
It's a headline.
There's a chain reaction. Bloggers, tweeters, Instagrammers.
There are people who are now millionaires because they...
Because Trump is the president.
Yeah.
Impersonators. There's, like, people who write articles exclusively based on what he says.
There are entire apps on what the hell Trump said today. Like, people are
invested.
People are invested because it is the ultimate bad investment.
It's like WWE, but real life.
Yes.
It's like watching Monday Night Raw, but like every day.
My grandparents are like super addicted to it. So, like, spent the better part of 2 months when they were at my house just watching WWE. WWE is fun.
It is. I used to love it.
And the thing about WWE and about this whole situation, I was telling somebody, I'm like, we could go to World War III, and we're like, yeah, it'll be like China, North Korea, and Russia versus like Canada, America, France, Britain, and you want to see it like as a fight, but then you realize this is real life and you cannot have this situation happen to you. But sometimes it's like we're really always on the brink of annihilation. Like, it feels like we're the Cold War, but we don't even know who the war is against anymore. Like, because he can really pop off and say anything bad to anybody.
And North Korea's read down a fight too, fam. These guys, their entire country is based on this event that's gonna happen.
Exactly.
This last World War is like what they're invested in.
And this is sad because literally, you just gave him. Trump is just giving them ammunition. Like,
He's just pissing them off. Why just keep your mouth shut?
I'm like, and it's not even like, okay, they have 2 nuclear bombs. Technically, it's not that bad because America has like 500. Just one of them is already a problem for the entire planet. Like, I even said, nuclear bombs should only be used for aliens. That's it. Like, I'm sorry. Other than that, nuclear and atomic bombs are for aliens. Everybody else, I guess you pick one person for each country that has a problem, and you guys fight it off to the death.
Like boxing?
Yeah, I think we should do that.
Just have some like
because that's what they used to do.
pay-per-view.
But that's what they used to do in ancient Greece. Like instead of they'll have everybody come out, but like they'll pick the best fighter versus another best fighter,
and that
then
solves
that's
the
it.
diplomatic issue. Like whoever's countries win, it's like, all right,
Yeah.
we're gonna have your way.
Yeah, It'll be-
America would win though. America's the best athletes.
No,
Where black
probably-
athletes will be like, no, we're not repping here.
LeBron's like, I'm not going there.
Everyone just take a knee during like the main event. The whole USA basketball team just takes a knee, and everyone's like, shit, who else we got? It's just like you see Gordon Hayward on the bench.
You're like, Gordon. I love Gordon Hayward. He's
Gordon
a
Hayward's
baller.
good, bro.
I love him.
Yo, Boston looks like the team to watch, man.
Maybe not the team to watch, but they're gonna be
I
interesting.
like that. I like Kyrie and Gordon. That's a good combo.
Honestly, I feel like both of them are very good, and I don't know if it's gonna work the way they want it to work because now Kyrie has to be the star. Like, man, being a star is difficult. People think that being a star is easy. Being a star is hard work. Just on
all the autographs.
not just that, but like people think that being
the basketball part is what comes easy to them.
yeah, but like being a star and answering star questions 100% of the time. And you know what? If your team fails, you are responsible.
And you set
Like,
the tone.
Yeah, exactly. And like, think about it. Like every time a LeBron team fails in the finals, it's LeBron's record that hurts.
And LeBron's on you.
Like it's on you. Hey, you failed. But like, mind you, there was 4 other people on the court. Mind you, you put up crazy stats. Mind you, he was a plus 70 something.
But it's his loss. But it's also his win.
You know exactly. Like that's the thing. Leadership might come easy. Basketball might come easy, but being a star and like having the pressures of other people on you, like there are people like unfortunately like myself, I've disproportionate reactions to the finals, wins and losses of LeBron James or like teams I like. So like I will cry, but I won't cry if like I remember my girlfriend or whatever situation going on. I won't cry for that. But like my team loses the Stanley Cup Finals, I'm crying. Don't even talk to me about the New York Giants because I freaking hate them and I'm a New England Patriots fan. I can't watch the video to now, and it's been years. I don't even think I was 14 yet, and I cry every time. I can't watch past the helmet catch. I can't. It hurts my soul. We were up. You couldn't help. Okay,
Boss Moves Podcast, Episode 1. We're going to get a lot of clips out of this. I just want us to tell the viewers what else they can expect, where to find us, what to follow. What do you think they should do?
Okay, well, what you guys really need to do is first follow me on Instagram, Playmaker Lifestyle. And then, follow your boys.
Ads are the MC across the board.
Yeah, and you guys can follow us everywhere. Everywhere.
Be sure to stay tuned. Feel free to write us at bossmoves@gmail.com.
At gmail.com. Boss Moves. Yeah, Boss Moves Radio at gmail.com.
Boss Moves Radio.
We're Boss Moves Radio across the board. Twitter, everything. So we'll have pictures up. We'll have everything up. And you'll see us. You'll see your boys.
Stay tuned. Thank you for tuning into Boss Moves Radio, Borough Sound, FusionRadio.ca. Shout out to Playmaker. Shout out to G. Couldn't be here right now. Shout out to Ramisa letting us in. Who else should we shout out?
Mom and dad, because my mom is giving me the card to get back home.
Shout out to the Rents. Shout out to God,
Shout out, yeah, because I like being alive.
Yeah.
Mad love to everybody listening. Mad love to everybody who will be listening. Mad love to everybody. Peace and love. We just want everybody to be happy. And you know what? ladies, gentlemen, let yourself be happy. We're ending on that note. Good night, baby.